All right, this is already going to be a controversial show. I can tell. Like not like South Park controversial, just like we're going to disagree a lot. I can already feel that coming along. If you were under a rock, the Rams won the Super Bowl. So Matt Stafford gets his Super Bowl. Sean McVay finally gets his Super Bowl. Andrew Whitworth, after his career, gets a Super Bowl. We're going to dive into the game itself because there's a lot of stuff to talk about there. There's now some weird thing that's happening across social media where they're saying the Bengals should have drafted Penei Sewell instead of Jamar Chase
No.
because it's cool to have Jamar Chase if you have time to get him the ball. So we can dive into that if y'all want to. But the hot button topic, and I feel like I'm going to get a lot of pushback from this, not just from you guys, but just from people in general. And I try not to be this person. I try to see the good in things. I try to like things. I try not to be like meh about things. And there's a group of people out there that I don't want you to think I'm agreeing with you. So I just want to start it by saying that, okay? PJ knows exactly what I'm talking about.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, PJ knows exactly what I'm talking about. I thought the halftime show was okay. I thought every person that was there, I love Mary J. Blige. Dr. Dre is, I'm trying to think like the proper adjective, but like he's just a massively influential, like you could put him up there when you talk about like music with Elvis, right? Like with what he did sort of birthed an entire genre of music and kind of where we are now, right? He's that influential. And also like what, 56, 57 years old, still looks like he could absolutely demolish me. So Dr. Dre was amazing. Snoop Dogg kind of crip walking in LA at the Super Bowl. That was amazing. That was great. And then you have 50 Cent doing whatever 50 Cent was doing, kind of hanging upside down like a bat when they came to him. Is there an explanation as to why he was hanging upside down?
He does that in the video. He does that in the music video.
I know, but like,
I don't understand. Well, my sister understands the explanation. Maybe I ask her, during the break.
PJ nailed it. So like, it's just that he hung
Probably
upside
in the
down in the
video.
video.
It's just like, I don't know why he hung upside down
And
in
how
the
long was he
video.
hanging- How long was he hanging upside down is also the next question. Also,
Yeah.
Big Feet looking a little thick.
Well, he's got that. I was talking to someone about that last night. Like he's got like that like big boy muscle. Like,
Well, no, 50's always been yoked up.
sure, but like now
He
he's
got shot 9 times.
he has a little bit more pizza every now and then. That's fine.
Hey,
But like he can still
did I say
no.
it was bad? I said he looked thick.
Yeah.
All right. So 50 was great. Mary J. Blige was great. Eminem, I thought, and I'm a big Eminem fan. I thought he was okay, but he did have the controversial moment where he hit the Kaepernick knee, even though the NFL apparently told him not to. So it's like there was good parts of this show.
Yeah.
But I'm talking overarchingly for the entire halftime show. I just thought it was okay.
I thought everybody was great outside of 50 was good, but that was the one person where I'd be like, 50 was just more so kind of like relaxed, cool, couldn't really hear him like that. Maybe he was enjoying those LA festivities that I seen Snoop Dogg enjoying before he went on the stage. But definitely I will say it was really good to me. I thought it was great. Eminem was actually my favorite part. I like Lose Yourself. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. So
I don't know how much of like I was telling PJ this before the show. I don't know how much of it like was kind of taken away by the fact that they were performing at like 4:00 in the afternoon local time. That may have something to do with it. Like that kind of felt like it if it was at night and the fireworks and the lasers and all that, but it was kind of like mid-afternoon in the sunlight kind of a deal. I don't know if that took away from it, but I told PJ, I was like, the best I can think of it is it's like going to an Eagles show with like no fireworks, no smoke, no flames, and they just kind of go out there, run out there, play the hits real quick, and like, all right, hey, see ya. It's like you got to see the band that you love. Like they played Hotel California, you got to see the band that you love, but like, was there really any like to it, right? Like I think the one that every single halftime show is going to be compared to till the end of time is Prince.
Oh, the Purple Rain when it was raining.
Like it was like that's like there was emotion with that, right?
It was 07. What
07,
Super Bowl was that? Was it the Colts and Bears?
Colts and Bears, I think. Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to think. I know Colts and Bears is 06 or 07. Steelers is somewhere. Okay, let me look it up.
But that being said, there was actually like emotion
Mhm.
in that. Whereas they were like, hey, like let's play Still Dre and let's play Family Affair and Indie Club.
Played California Love.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought that was pretty great.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
That was
Colts and
interesting.
Bears.
But it's just, I'm just saying, in my opinion, and my opinion doesn't matter whatsoever. I thought it was kind of okay. Now, the group of people who if you're sitting in your car now, he gets it, that
Yeah.
I want to say is, I still love the fact that they have Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Dr. Dre. I wish they would have gone heavier with what they were doing. So PJ, he played in the club and everybody's melting down. I guarantee you we're gonna get the letters to the FCC that get released where it's like Snoop Dogg said we're in the club having sex. Like, shut it down. How you said that on my TV,
how dare
on my
you?
Super Bowl, right? Like, people are gonna figure out. I wish he would have played Mini Men.
Right.
I like how they had
like, I wish he would have switched it up. It's just, it was, what song does every 40-year-old person know across America? That's the song we're gonna play.
Right.
Like, Mary J. Blige has a thick catalog.
There's
and
actually
she plays Family Affair.
Dude,
It's just, it is what it is.
There's a song that, like, I sent it to someone. I think it's called like Amazing or something like that. She came out with like a month ago, maybe a month or two ago, and it slaps. It slaps. And I thought she was gonna play that for sure because it was like just released and whatever. And it come out with like a really like upbeat song and whatnot, and then they kind of slowed it down there for a second with her, and I was like, with the energy of the halftime show, I didn't think
I
maybe
loved
it should have
I
slowed
thought
down.
Beyonce and Destiny Child was better.
Okay, like I can see that. I think this is like I think
Thought it
this
was
is
better.
part of it too. The more we talk about it, the more I kind of get this vibe out of it. Where I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the heck out of it, and
That's
maybe
the point. Is like, if you went to see X favorite band and they came out and played their songs, you're going to enjoy it.
no matter what,
Doesn't mean there's any heart to
I
it.
think it
Right.
was like the nostalgia, like they was in LA. You got your West Coast rappers and East Coast rappers coming together, like Eminem,
Mhm.
50, and then you got Kendrick, Dre, and Snoop. They're all from Cali. Then you got your East Coast coming to West Coast, and they're forming together, doing a halftime performance. But they're in LA. I mean, you seen SoFi last night. That wasn't a football crowd. That was a party crowd.
Yeah.
So I think that's what everybody was thinking. Like, this is the best one. I don't think it was the best one, but
right.
it's top 5 though. I say it's top 5.
That's up there. But there are like a couple things. Like, while I loved everyone that was in it, and when I saw the lineup and then 50 being there and everything, I was like, man, this is insane. This is great. I almost feel like them having so many people in the halftime show might have kind of drained that energy a little bit because you're just hopping from person to person to person so fast. And like, think about it. Eminem was one of the main liners, right? He had like a song, maybe like that he had "Lose Yourself" and "Forget About Dre" and "Forgot About Dre," and that's pretty much it.
And it wasn't even all of Lose Yourself.
Right. It was like a verse or two.
Right.
So I think that kind of played into it a little bit. I also saw a couple of videos from people that were in the crowd, like super high up, and showing the halftime show while it was going. And it was like, this is a very, and you could argue that all of them are, but like, this is a very.
Are you saying that maybe the crowd that had to spend a minimum of $5,000 to get in there maybe wasn't the most hype crowd for?
Well, not only
the
that.
afternoon
No,
wrap?
I'm talking about the production itself was very made for TV. Like, if you think about it, there's most Super Bowl crowds and stuff, they allow fans out there and everything. There weren't really fans in the entertainment and in the enjoyment either. Everything was really pushed back.
Yeah.
And the crowd actually in the video, like, you can kind of barely hear the music.
Yeah.
So it's like the music was more coming through the TV than it was actually in the stadium. So that could have been a part of the energy side of things.
I will say this. It made me mad and gave me hope at the same time. It made me mad because they had a Super Bowl in Atlanta and damn Maroon 5 played. In Atlanta.
I'm gonna tell you who they should have put out there.
Well, no, let's talk about who they should have got. Lil Jon, like, easily number 1. Outkast, so Andre 3000 and Big Boi.
Yeah,
they had Big Boi.
They're number 1 to me.
I thought they had Big Boi.
Right, but like Andre 3000 and Big Boi.
Andre
Like,
3000 and Big
if
Boi.
they did that reunion in Atlanta at the Super Bowl, shut it down.
A couple of guys.
Right, Ludacris, T.I., Future,
Jeezy.
Yeah, Akon, Young Jock, Gucci, Waka. Like, can you imagine how lit that could have been? Even if you just get 2 or 3 of them.
That's a club. Yeah.
Soldier
Club
Boy.
Central.
Soldier Boy just makes a guest appearance.
That's
real
Club
quick.
Central.
Just like, can you imagine what the concert's like if you have like Akon and Jeezy and Outkast, and then all of a sudden you get a you, and you're like, oh. I'm just saying. So it makes me mad that we didn't have that, but it also gives me hope that like if they ever host one in New Orleans again, right, that maybe we get The Game and Lil Wayne. Like it's just it gives me hope.
I would agree with that.
Let's see. I mean, I know it happened last
Like,
night because they're in
quit beating
LA.
around the bush and like and scraping the corpses of Mick Jagger up on the stage, right? Like we don't need to do that anymore.
Nah, I mean, I know they did that last night because I mean it was in LA. LA is that Hollywood vibe. You get all the stars to come out for that Super Bowl. So
Speaking
let's
of
see what they
stars,
do next.
What y'all think of The Rock?
I didn't even see him on TV.
You didn't see the intro?
No,
What were you doing?
not paying attention.
Okay.
To The Rock.
He did the red.
Not paying attention. And I thought it was cheesy at first, but I guess like
I thought it was pretty cool.
it was interesting. Like
Yeah.
the more it went on, I was like, all right, this is kind of cool. But I kind of like it's funny because you put
There you go,
yourself in
Cody.
other people's shoes at the same time. Because I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, this is pretty cool from like a TV perspective. And then I'm looking at the coaches and they're just kind of like, all right, can the game where our players are already out there?
I got
Like-
a different vibe. Zach Taylor, yeah, he was kind of like, meh, this is
Yeah.
fine. It is what it is. Sean McVay was like eyes wide.
All right, I
like,
didn't see
looking
him.
at it like,
Yeah,
'Cause
I
he
looked
gets
away.
it,
I was
yeah.
like,
he gets it.
He's like, I got the
Yeah.
Rock out here hyping up both teams right now. This is the Super Bowl. Let's
Yeah.
go. And like literally the Rock is standing on the field with a microphone as like the both kickoff units are on the team and the players are just like sitting back there
They were,
like
yeah.
shaking their head. It's like because it's like as big as they are, right? They are NFL athletes on the Super Bowl. It's like that's the damn Rock, right? It's like that's like maybe could we argue that the Rock might be the most famous man on the planet right now?
He's up there. I mean, he's
nah,
got to be
he's
like
up
top
there.
Like
five
you
at least.
drop Joe Biden and then drop the Rock like in India.
Yeah.
Who do you think more people are recognizing?
No,
They're
The
going
Rock.
The Rock.
It's The Rock,
Nobody's
right?
going to know who
It's
Joe
the President
Biden
of the
is.
United States or The Rock, right? So it's like you have him, and he just went back to his wrestling background, right?
Yeah.
Where he was just doing the big boisterous beginning of the cage match fight
Mhm.
preview, right? I thought The Rock was awesome. I thought God Bless America was awesome. I thought the national anthem was awesome. I thought all the pregame stuff. Is there anything more goosebump inducing than the flyover?
Oh, I don't think so. Especially if you're at the stadium
Cam, does
itself.
anything give you goosebumps?
No,
Do you let your emotions connect like that at all?
no, not really.
I remember being 23 too.
Nothing gives me no. Well, college football back in the day.
Even like
I will
even
say
you're
that.
not at a stadium and like you're like, where's the flyover? Where's it coming? And then you realize like right before it flies over the back of your head,
Yeah.
there's like, oh no.
Oh, when
and
you
then
feel that too.
boom.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Cody's watching this. Cody told me that when he was in Afghanistan, there was like nothing more intimidating / awesome because you knew they were on your side than
Yeah.
when the Jets did the flyover
I can imagine.
when they were there. But it's just like being in a stadium and feeling that like rumble come over your head is
Mhm.
nuts. But like watching last night because I forget what the task force was called, but it was like a generations force where they had different planes like all the way back to World War II flying in a formation of 5, and those planes. Like you have like a couple of $1 billion planes that were flying to the left, and then you have some of the ones from previous, I guess, generations. Those things were like 5 feet from each other.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
So like I love a flyover. Thought all the pregame stuff was awesome. I like The Rock. I think The Rock should preview every Super Bowl.
Can you imagine like think of how awesome that was too? Because like you said, The Rock has done some amazing things. He's been in movies, he's done events, he's all the SmackDowns and Raws and WrestleManias you can think of, he's been a part of. And even those are in like some football stadiums and things like that. But the stage he was on, it, like you said, center of the field, you had that like panned out, all the stands just absolutely full. Like that was, and for him too, I saw an Instagram post this morning, is for him too, kind of bookending thing. Like not bookending, but he starts his career in college football and
Yeah.
you know, trying to make it in the NFL, right? And then he goes into wrestling, does all these amazing things, and boom, now he's back there at no, I almost called it WrestleMania. At the Super Bowl.
Still not the coolest thing.
doing
we got
the
from,
intro.
Still
Like
not the coolest thing we got from The Rock this year. The coolest thing is he has like a Tyrannosaurus Rex
There you go.
skull
Yeah.
in his house that he just uses as a background prop on Zoom. But this might be like number 2 for his year so far. But again, I thought all the way through, and then I thought the game was super okay. So what we're gonna do is take a quick break. There were some points I want to get to because it was a damn Super Bowl, and
Yeah.
there were some moments from this game that were crucial. There were some coaching decisions that I thought were horrendous, but we're gonna dive into that when we come back. But it's the Super Bowl, so it's not just about football; it's about the entertainment experience. So we're gonna take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk some football next, right here on Second Down. Second Down on ESPN Radio is presented to you by the Uniform Source. Christian Gokel alongside PJ Zuko and Cam Urshry recapping the Rams Super Bowl win. Matt Stafford now a Super Bowl champion. I'm sure all the conversations being had now are, is Matthew Stafford a Hall of Famer? I think there should be a caveat inside the Hall of Fame where if you play 12 years as a starting quarterback for the Detroit Lions, you're automatically a Hall of Famer. But that's just my humble opinion. But first question to you guys is, scale of 1 to 10, just as a football game, how was the Super Bowl?
I'll say it was an 8 to me. It was
8.
It was exactly what I thought it would be. It was fast paced. That was one of the fastest Super Bowls I've ever watched in my life. It wasn't long. It was fast paced. I mean, it was penalties, but not a lot. A couple of missed calls, but it was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Can I ask you a question?
Hmm?
If that was an 8, what was the Seahawks Patriots Super Bowl?
The Seahawks Patriots one. That was like broke my scale. That was a great one. Yeah, that's what I was
Because
saying.
like 8 is like really high.
I know, but I think it was an 8 because I got to see kind of Matthew Stafford prove it once again. Odell goes out because I'm saying it right now. If Odell doesn't go out, Cooper Kupp is not the Super Bowl MVP.
No,
it is definitely Odell.
He's not the Super Bowl MVP, and it's a blowout.
Yeah, it's a blowout.
Run away with it.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say that though because the Rams has always got down this postseason. Like they're down 21-3 to the Chiefs, and they found a way. So it's like I get what you're saying. If Odell doesn't go out, and I agree with that. I think it definitely changed things, but I also don't want to say that like going into like the half that they don't make an adjustment and they're able to cover him up, and then maybe counter with Cooper Kupp. I don't know. We'll never know because they end up winning the game there. But for you, PJ, just entertainment value as a football game, where was this one at?
It's like a 6.5.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Like 6.5, 7. Yeah.
Like obviously the stakes play into it, but if you're just like looking at this from like a game, this is kind of like a regular season game that you just forget about.
It's one that was like you go the whole way through, and I think the best description of it is it was close, but it wasn't great. Like that's the thing. You have close games every week in the NFL, but that doesn't mean that the game itself is great.
Yeah, both teams can kind of suck their way to and just stumble over themselves to say it's a close game.
Yeah, even we were on our way.
Falcons do it a lot.
If we don't have those huge 2 plays by the Rams at the end of the game that are now kind of the highlights, the Aaron Darnold tackle and the Cooper Kupp catch. Like you have those.
Why do you always combine Aaron Donald and Sam Darnold?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. But if you don't have,
it does matter.
Whatever.
Aaron Darnold is not as good of a football player as Aaron Donald.
True. If you don't have those plays, the biggest play of the game and the one that everyone's running is the most controversial as well, with that 75-yard touchdown pass that was
to T. Higgins.
An obvious penalty. And there were other penalties as well, like the holding call in the red zone, I think was kind of a makeup call. Like I think they had missed some things earlier. Like that was a ticky, very kind of ticky
that's
tack.
One of the points I wanted to get to is I think and I've never been one for conspiracy theories about officials, but I think the officials did everything they could to get the Rams in the end zone on that last drive. Because for the NFL, what sets up better? The Bengals stopping them with 2 minutes left and just running the clock out and not letting them score, or with 90 seconds left, the Rams get into the end zone and then you get another chance at Joe Burrow. Like that last minute and a half of that game was must-see television, right? And what do they do? First 2 passes of that drive, Joe Burrow has them right down the field at like the 50-yard line. So I really feel like, and again, this is just pure reckless speculation, and there's in no way do I have any evidence of this whatsoever. I'm just some dude talking on the radio. It felt like the officials did everything in their power to get the Rams in the end zone.
I think they got it right, though. Only reason why is they were targeting Cooper Kupp the entire last possession. Like they went to him like every time. The ball
to either dropped it or tipped it up for interception.
Yeah. Everybody knew who they were going to. Like before they came out the huddle, I was watching it with some friends and some people. I said, well, it's time to feed 10. First, as soon as I say that, 10 gets it. Time to feed 10 again. They're going downfield. I said, they're in the end zone. They're not going to nobody else but 10. And I think the one mistake the Bengals did was putting Eli Apple on Cooper Kupp. I just think that was a really bad mistake. You put a Wouzier, who's your best corner, on Kupp and see what he can do. But Eli Apple, he struggles in the slot. Well, he struggles pretty much everywhere. Slot, kind of on the island by himself, and I thought that was a bad matchup. He got him on the holding, and then Logan Wilson, I think that's his name, 50,
Oh,
the linebacker.
okay.
Well, that's the
listen,
one I mean. Like
yeah.
that was ticky tack. The other
Oh, on
defensive
Apple.
pass interference was terrible. Like
Oh,
that,
okay.
terrible in the sense of that was an obvious pass interference penalty. The one on the middle linebacker, I thought that was the one I was like, that's ticky tack. That's more of a makeup call than anything.
I'll give
I think.
I'll give him that. I think I couldn't get mad at it because the T. Higgins one, I was like, no, that's ridiculous.
That was egregious.
That
Yeah.
was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
At
I
the
think
end
they
of the
did it
Rams, for
on
whatever
purpose.
reason, I think receivers are just like, okay, I'm not going to be able to get open on him, so I'm just going to have to throw him to the ground.
Yeah. Now Jamar Chase got him a couple of times last night, but it's
Jamar
Jamar
Chase
Chase. Yeah, you know,
Absolutely ridiculous.
it's Jamar
monster.
Chase. I
That
still think
45-yard catch that he had was
Beautiful.
I think Ramsey's
insanity.
top 3 corner. I don't have him
and
number
it's
1
like,
though.
listen, if you're in the playoffs playing against think about who he was playing against when he got burned. He was playing against Tom Brady in the playoffs against Mike Evans. Like, you're gonna lose
And then
some of those.
Debo.
Yeah, you're going to lose some. But you say you got burned against Debo. They scored 10
No.
points.
I didn't say you get
Yeah.
burnt. I say
Yeah.
he had to match up
Yeah, they
against
scored
Debo.
10 points in that game. Like, I think the Rams did a pretty good job there. Or not 10. What was it?
17.
17.
Yeah.
Was it 2017?
Forgettable.
Yeah,
that's
I
what
think.
That's what
Yeah.
it is.
So it's just, but that's kind of the games that the Rams played outside of the divisional round against the Buccaneers. Like, it was just like this kind of the game they played. It's like, but that I almost threw my phone this morning because I saw a tweet, which multiple things can be true at the same time. I say that all the time. But I saw a tweet where someone said, hey, this just proves, like with Eli Manning, you can have a middling quarterback and win a Super Bowl if you have a dominant defensive front. They have a dominant defensive front, but it took getting Matt Stafford for them to win the Super Bowl.
People don't understand.
Correct. So I thought Matt Stafford played his tail off in that game. Listen, he's good for one every game where he's just going to throw it and you're like, what the hell were you doing?
Yeah.
And that was the one that he threw the pick in the end zone. But the other one, he threw a great ball and the receiver just tipped it up.
Yeah.
For an interception. So I thought Stafford played out of his mind. I'm super happy to see him win a Super Bowl after everything he went through. Like I said, you should be able to trade 12 years of Detroit for 1 year of this.
How fitting was it to win the game on the game-winning drive? Like, I don't think a lot of people know he's like one of the best like fourth quarter comeback players in NFL history. How fitting was it? I mean, he had 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, but you're missing your starting tight end, missing Odell. You didn't have Robert Woods. All you had was Kupp. Van Jefferson was having a tough time getting open last night.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, he was having a real tough time, and he still won that game. I'm like,
and they couldn't run the ball at all.
No.
That's the
Neither
other
team could really run the ball
That's
at all.
kind
Neither
of the
team,
other
yeah.
part. Well, Mixon had some success, but like that's the other part of the game that kind of made it more impressive for Stafford to win for me, but also made it more kind of boring and dropped that quality scale down a little bit. Is the Rams couldn't run the ball, and it's not because of the Bengals being some insanely strong defensive front seven that running backs fear every single week. Like, they just couldn't do anything. Like, they couldn't block very well. They couldn't get any push. There were no running lanes open for Akers or really any other running back.
Odell went out.
Well, especially, but like, I mean, it was just rough. So I thought that kind of drug the quality down a little bit. But what makes it even more impressive about Stafford, I think, and also something that Detroit has seen for years and years on end. Once he got hurt, but he got up and walked to the sideline, we should have known they were going to win. Like, because that's just what Stafford does. Like, how many different highlights have we seen of Matt Stafford getting hurt and him just carrying on in the football game, and not only that, but coming back and leading game-winning drives. Like, he's been one of the most impressive quarterbacks in that fashion, just kind of toughing stuff out.
I think the game changed when you remember when Aaron Donald puts Joe Burrow out. They start putting their face mask near Aaron Donald's face mask. They was grabbing it.
You saw
after
like,
that,
the
Aaron Donald.
come out.
Yeah. After that, he had like 4 QB hits, 2 sacks. After that, that was like kind of end of the third.
Well,
end of the
the
fourth.
game's pretty simple, right? It was one team had Aaron Donald, the other didn't.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it came down to at the end. Like, all things are even, right? I have Aaron Donald, you don't. I'm probably going to end up winning. And that's what happened is Aaron Donald made a play when he needed to. Now, this is something I want to talk about, but I want to go back because I always do this with PJ because he loves the quarterbacks. Why is it that, like, we always talk about quarterbacks gutting things out when, like, literally everyone else is sacrificing their body on every single play? Like, because we had it for both guys yesterday, right? Matt Stafford kind of limped off the field a little bit. And then you had Joe Burrow. He's like had a knee thing going on a little bit, but like you have Deebo Samuel like having to scrape his legs off the field at Lambeau to win that game. And we're not really talking about that. George Kittle in that same game at Lambeau when they're playing in like negative 30-degree temperatures is just like limping every single play. I just find it interesting that
I think there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of
and
different
brave.
reasons.
Matthew Stafford is strong and brave.
No, man, come on. There's a lot of different reasons why we weren't talking about the 49ers and their players gutting one out in Green Bay. What part of that is because there were several other incredibly good games that we were talking about and filling up that time.
Eric Weddle
so
playing
like,
with a torn pec.
Yeah, it was incredible. Yeah, he did a great job. Like he toughed it out. You could see him making several hits there later in the game and holding that shoulder the whole time. Yeah, for sure. But we were talking about Matt Stafford. I brought up a Matt Stafford thing.
It's
like,
probably
what do you want
like quarterbacks are not the ones hitting.
I'm going to get PJ a t-shirt. Quarterbacks are strong and brave.
I mean, it's probably because quarterbacks are not the ones out there like hitting and going out. I mean, we know wide receivers, they're induced or prepared to get hit. Safeties, they hit. Every other position prepares to get hit. Quarterbacks, they don't want to get hit. So, but like, I think that's the toughness part.
It's not just you, right? It's during the broadcast. Like Collinsworth is just like, oh wow, Matt Stafford, he's not going out. He's coming back in. What do you think offensive linemen are thinking when they hear that? They're like, it's every play. He gets hit by Aaron Donald once, and all of a sudden he's just some traumatic case. I have to hit Aaron Donald every play.
I mean,
that's the perks of playing quarterback.
It is, but there's a number of different reasons too. It's like, yeah, you're getting hit by Aaron Donald every play. You're getting blocked. You're getting hit in the chest, right? Like this dude just got his leg folded up and his ankle turned sideways. Like,
you don't think offensive linemen get folded up?
I feel like they do a lot, but like,
it's the quarterback.
It's
quarterback position.
It's not.
It's the quarterback position.
Like, that's fine.
It's the way that like everyone talks about him. Like I said, it's not just you. It's the way everyone talks about him. Like when we were having the conversations about JT Daniels being a great teammate, just for the simple fact that he wasn't a douchebag on the sideline.
I think quarterback is the most decorated position in sports, not just football.
It's the most important.
I think it's the most decorated.
The most important
because if you look at it, like every time we start the NFL mock drafts or drafts, decorated as in like it's the most hype, like most glorified, like people love the position. Like when you go in the draft, what's the first thing you look at, regardless of how good you are?
In no other sport is there a position that's more important than quarterback is to football.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Basically, in a nutshell, like when you go into a draft, the first thing you look at, you're looking at a QB, regardless if you even have a QB. Like Matt Ryan might have a year or two left, but we're talking about, man, we need a QB. But when you're in the NBA, you're not.
You can get a middling quarterback as long as you have a great defensive line and win the Super Bowl.
That it doesn't work like that. And Eli Manning is not a freaking middling quarterback. He's not in the Peyton Mannings and Tom Brady's, but he's not middle of the pack either. Eli Manning can play. Now Trent Dilfer, I give you that.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? Like that hasn't happened. That hasn't happened in so long. Like those guys, yeah, completely agree. But someone kind of tried to say
Nick
that
Foles won a Super Bowl.
I don't think
Nick Foles balled out in that Super Bowl. What are you talking about?
He actually outplayed Brady.
Someone said something about.
Would you consider Nick Foles a top of the line quarterback?
In that season,
but just because you got a great performance out of him doesn't mean he's not.
I don't think middling quarterbats could do that in the Super Bowl.
Got a great performance.
I don't think they can.
You got a great performance out of him that whole Super Bowl push in the playoffs.
Tom Brady isn't considered a middling quarterback, but he has had bad games in Super Bowls and still won, and he's not considered a middling quarterback.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I've never seen a middling.
I think the point is you have to get there.
Yeah,
because we saw what Jared Goff did when he got there. Ooh, Lord,
anything can happen. I mean, once you get there, anything can happen.
Jared Goff is Jared.
We had a Super Bowl where one touchdown was scored.
Yeah, no, it was gross and it was disgusting. But I mean, I'm not going to say that because he had to play against Aaron Donald. But no, I mean, like people saw, we haven't had that. I feel like in a long time though. Like you bring up Nick Foles, that was his like he got the opportunity in the playoffs, and when he played in those playoffs, he balled out. Like
in the year after.
Every single one of those games, he played extremely well. That's why I say what I do about Nick Foles. But also, like I had someone try and talk to me about the Ravens when they won the Super Bowl against San Francisco. We joke about Joe Flacco, but like for most of that season and in the playoffs, like he was balling. They kind of took the reins off him a little bit, and he was slinging it. So
it's
like
more so what we talk about, where it's like you have to take advantage of your windows.
Yeah,
and it's like,
for sure.
Would anybody be surprised? I don't think this is the case, and we can talk about this. I don't think it's the case, but would anybody be surprised if the Bengals don't go to another Super Bowl for 15 years?
I don't think they're gonna make it in the next 5 to 10 years.
I wouldn't be
I really
surprised
won't. I really
because
don't.
look around. Look at the rest of the
Yeah,
AFC.
Right.
that's the
Like,
only
you
reason.
gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta take care. You gotta take advantage of your windows. Like, look at
Mhm.
what happened to the Falcons.
Whew, yeah, we're still in the
Goes
dumpster
away,
fire.
goes away quick.
Yeah, made it
Whereas-
to the
Like, not
playoffs that
not
1
everybody is
year.
Tom Brady, where they can just consistently carry your team there every single
Look
time.
at Aaron Rodgers.
For as
Man,
much as we talk about the
10
Seahawks
years.
and what they built
Mhm.
for the time that they had, they were in 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
They won one, they lost one, that was it.
Yeah,
You know,
Aaron
so-
Rodgers, last Super Bowl, 2010, and he's Aaron Rodgers. So, I mean, like I said, hats off to Joe Burrow, but Mahomes got he has a couple of in him too.
I think
Couple
Joe
more
Burrow
Super
is
Bowls.
going to be there, like in the AFC Championship. I think the AFC in particular is set up for some dopeness for the next few years because you'll have Herbert and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow just going head to head.
Possibly Kyler Murray. Have you seen like
Possibly Kyler.
Maybe.
I will not defame this Super Bowl recap show with Cardinals rumors.
How quickly do we forget about, like, he was hurt and banged up this year, and that
Lamar.
certainly affected him. Lamar Jackson,
yeah.
you know,
That is
like
true.
he's there
NFL
too.
MVP.
Ooh.
Never know who Pittsburgh's going to get next. No, I'll stop.
It would be nice to
Listen,
see
when they
Lamar
get-
bounce
when they
back
get Malik
though.
Willis in Pittsburgh and y'all
Oh.
start balling out.
Oh, so
Or
okay,
Kenny Pickett,
all right.
Matt Corral, one of those guys.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Well, we're forgetting about the Patriots too.
Yeah.
Mac Jones, the defense.
Uh,
they have
New
out there.
new
I'm
OC
still-
though.
I'm still not sold
New
on
OC.
Mac Jones.
That's fine.
I'm
Oh,
still
no.
honestly not sold on post Brady Patriots.
Dang. They were good this year. I think they overachieved.
Didn't they get
like,
beat like 43-6?
yeah,
in
no.
the
They lost
playoff?
47 to 17, but they overachieved. That's not even a playoff roster. And Bill
To
Belichick
me,
made
that feels
them.
a whole lot like Michigan making the college football playoff. It's like, yeah, you made it, but like, are you even close?
Nah,
you just compared
Patriots
Bill
would be really
Belichick
good.
to,
Yeah, to Jim
No,
Harbaugh,
Nope.
the GOAT.
Nope. I compared the Patriots to Michigan.
All right.
Oh
Just making sure.
man, they're gonna be good next year, like really good. Mac Jones is really
We'll see.
good too. They got to give him a
How
wide
the
out
hell did
though.
we go from talking about Joe Burrow and
Oh, I mean, he
Matt
has a lot of
Stafford to
competition.
Mac Jones?
You brought up the AFC. Just
He
as
has a lot of
whole,
competition.
And how do you talk about the AFC and not the evil empire? You know what I mean? Like,
Very easily,
I respect the
because
Patriots.
the evil empire. I think Darth Vader retired.
I
Oh Lord,
think
nah,
he did.
evil empire is the Dallas Cowboys.
You see what?
No. Dude, don't give them
It's
that much credit.
them.
You have to actually win things to be considered the evil empire.
That's true.
Like in college football, the evil empire is still Alabama. Like you cannot compare the Dallas Cowboys. It's been like 3 decades since they were relevant. Anyway, we got to take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk some more Super Bowl next right here on ESPN Radio. Second down on ESPN Radio is presented to you by the Uniform Source. All right, we were just talking about it there during the break, Cam. 1 yard. You need 1 yard. Honestly, you needed 2 yards for 2 plays.
Yep.
You get stuffed with a shotgun run on like 3rd and short. And then on 4th and 1, out of the shotgun again, you make these critical mistakes. You throw the ball, and you one-on-one block Aaron Donald. But more crucial than that, you go out of the damn shotgun. I don't understand. Listen, I'm not one of these people that say, like, remember the Titans where it's like, who do they think they are? The New York Jets? It's like, you can't be going out of the shotgun. Like, I get spread offenses. I get, like, Joe Burrow with what he's been able to do, especially like his time at LSU. He just does better out of empty sets and one running back sets, just out of the shotgun, slinging the football around. But eventually football comes down to you need a yard. It just needs to be under center. You're stronger than them. Go get a yard. And earlier in the game, they kind of figured out a way to do it a little bit, right? But it's just if you understand that Aaron Donald's up there and Ashawn Robinson's up there and I can't deal with them at the point of attack, off tackle, right? Figure something creative out to do. I never understand the concept, and I've heard other coaches talk about this too. And listen, if you're a coach and you like running 4th and 1 out of the shotgun, man, that's completely up to you. But I never understood the concept of I need 1 yard. I'm going to snap it back 8 yards and then go 9 yards for the 1 yard I needed a gain. I've never understood that concept.
I mean, I think it was one of that 3rd down call out the shotgun. They ran the ball. I think is one of the worst calls I've seen. Only because you go with the guy who's got you there. That's Joe Burrow. So if you want to do out the shotgun, cool. Give him the ball. You was already. How did you get there in the first place? On 2nd down or your 1st down, you got 9 yards. So that means your offense is humming. You was near past midfield. Basically, the offense is humming. I don't know why you don't pass the ball both plays.
Coaches like to be safe and reset the downs and just go ahead and pick
he was
up the
getting
first down.
bullied on the front line
and
anyway.
Go ahead and pick up the first down. And even maybe more so the play call than the decision. If you're going to run, go off tackle.
Yeah.
Right. Don't go at Aaron Donald and Ashawn Robinson. I'm just maybe
go at the best player in football.
The best choice, but it's I would say on maybe a top 10 football player ever, but that's a conversation we can have going forward. I understand it's Joe Burrow. It's his offense. You want to let him work it, but in a situation where you need 1 yard, like go back to what the Chiefs, if you ask Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy if they could do it over again in the AFC Championship game before halftime, they had 9 seconds, needed a yard, and they ran 2 plays out of the shotgun. If they could do that over again and maybe just, I don't know, hand the football off, I think they might make that decision. It's like, I'm not trying to say Todd Monken is this God-level offensive coordinator, but I mean, Georgia had a pretty simple plan this year when they needed a yard. It was put Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter in the game and say, we have more beef than you. We're just going to run and get a yard.
I couldn't agree more, and especially with the personnel. And I know this is probably more this is probably more technical and whatever. And you have your sets, you have your 3rd down backs, everything like that. But like 3rd and 2, if I am going to run the ball, it's going to be with the guy that's been my star running back all year and has 70+ yards on that defense that's been giving you trouble all night.
Sure.
In Joe Mixon, not Pirine.
Like the advanced metrics though is Pirine is our short yards guys. Like no,
whatever. Like
the guy who's working
exactly. Yeah. And I don't care. And I especially am not running them up the middle on Darnold. So and I fully expected 4th down. They came out and I was like you gotta try and run the ball here. Yeah, whatever. You gotta try and run the ball here, right? And of course they go with the pass. So my argument too was those last 2 downs I thought were really bad. Also pretty anticlimactic too, because they had come out moving the ball pretty well. And then it's like, oh wait, no, this is the game. I would have liked, like you're Cincinnati, you get up, I get you have Joe Burrow, whatever, but you kind of have the Rams on the back foot. I would have liked to see them run the ball more in the second half as a whole to burn that clock a little bit, especially in the 4th quarter. And I feel like they come out and they were still slinging it around, and that gave the opportunity for the pass rush of the Rams to be even more influential. So, like, I have problems with most of the second half for the Bengals, not just those last 2 plays, but yes, those last 2 plays were pretty bad. And the fact that Joe Mixon was not a part of those were pretty bad as well.
I'll never understand in a situation where you need a yard.
Yeah.
Now, I
yeah.
mean, there's been some cases where, hey, it works out. I forget who they were playing, but when Chad Henne had to come in for Patrick Mahomes,
Browns. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they throw just a quick out to Tyreek Hill and
Mhm.
let him get the yard because literally no one in the world can stop Tyreek Hill in the open field for just a yard.
That's
Yeah.
what I
So
wanted
it's
them
like,
to do yesterday, though.
I get that, but they don't have a Tyreek Hill.
They got Jamar Chase,
They got
who I
Jamar
think can do
Chase, but
that.
like just the way that the Rams were playing, I'll never understand in football not being able to line up and get a yard.
Yep.
Like you have to be creative enough as a head coach. You have to work on those things as a head coach to where, okay, Aaron Donald's there. What are we going to do to get a yard? And it can't just be a 4-step drop for Joe Burrow where there's no quick options available and we're going to one-on-one Aaron Donald.
Mm-mm.
That was atrocious, and Bengals fans are going to be thinking about that for a long, long time. That is up there with the Falcons not running the football.
Yeah.
And Dante Hightower. No, that's up there. When as a pain for a fan base,
But that was a whole half.
No, but as pain for a fan base, you need a yard, and that's the play call. That's up there with Dante Hightower coming off the edge and strip sacking Matt Ryan. I'm
if you can't do it straight, like if you can't do it straight up the middle, that's a coaching job and an offensive creative mind job to find a way to do it. I.e., Cooper Kupp with the run play they called for him when they needed a yard and couldn't run the football. Who's that?
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, pretty good.
I thought they were going to get creative with Joe Burrow, at least roll him out right, maybe some motion or something like that. They just dropped back.
Yeah, and now the Rams are the Super Bowl champions. We got to take a quick break. We'll come back, get you ready for 3 and Out next. Second Down is presented to you by the Uniform Source. If you missed any portion of the show, you can check it out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, ESPNCoastal.com, wherever you guys get your shows. You guys had a basketball game this past Friday night. I mean, it's basketball season now. Football's over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was curious, PJ. You got about 30 seconds here. Need you to grade Cam's color commentary abilities.
Oh, it's been great so far.
Grade,
yeah, no, it's
grade.
Yeah. Grade? An A. It's been an A. It's been an A.
Because Al Michaels is going to be looking for a new co-host since he's being pulled between Amazon Prime and ESPN. So I'm just saying maybe Cam can put his name in the hat.
Well,
Nah.
We're gonna get Cam tomorrow. We're gonna get Cam tomorrow to do his play-by-play abilities.